relaxed patio bar today, and we have a beautiful breezy day here, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. Got some winds coming in. Got the gang all here wanting to say hello. Pedro and Paco, Penelope and Pepe, they are excited today because we are traveling to Spain today to bring you our drink. And if you haven't figured that out, we have sangria today, and we've had a lot of people requesting sangria, and in fact I have 2 recipes that I will be talking about today and trying to make here. It is a great drink. You can have red, you can have white. It's a good time for poolside, for large groups of people, or a party of one, because you can keep it for a while. So yes, we are talking about sangria, and it has a history going way back in Europe. I mean, even back in the Romans and Greeks, they used to take wine and put spices and sugar in it because they couldn't drink the water. So that was some of the start of it. And then we got the late 1400s. The Spaniards started making wine that was especially made for sangria. Probably wasn't called that yet, but they were just throwing citrus in with it. And then the late, 1800s, 1800s, England and France got into it, and they had some of the whites and the sparkling sangrias. In the U.S., we started doing sangria about the 1940s, but it really took off in the 1964 World Fair in New York City. Spain had a pavilion, and they were giving out samples of sangria, and Americans loved it. I mean, it was great. So this is to be a simple drink to make, and there's really no set recipe. There's some guidelines. Basically, it's red wine, it's fruit, sometimes some alcohol, and then maybe some sparkling type stuff. So what I'm going to talk about first is I'm very fortunate my good friend Jose Caceres brought me a bottle of his own wine that he and Uncle Fred, an old family recipe, even got their own label from the 11th red sangria, and they are making it a tradition over in Europe because it has a 16% volume of alcohol, so we don't really need to add anything as far as, the alcohol. And I also have a recipe from my good friend Janet King, because we have sat around and drank her sangria at times out by the bonfire and stuff and had some good times reminiscing about the old days. So let's go ahead and get into this. Like I said, this is I'm going to have to look at some recipes here, so just give me a little break with some of that. Alright, I'm going to start with Jose here, and this beautiful picture that we have that makes us feel like we're in Spain. I'm going to throw in some diced apples. We can enjoy the music along the way. We're going to squeeze some oranges in there, orange juice, and we just throw it right in there because it's going to be soaking. There we go, some orange. You put about a whole orange in there. So I'm just guessing. Oops, I got to drop that one in there. So I'm getting some orange juice in there. I got the apple. I got the orange. I'm going to put a little lemon in this one. Ooh. As you can see, most sangrias, like I said, it's a wine, and it can be citrus, it can be other kinds of fruit, whatever you decide you would like to have in it. A lemon in there. And with this recipe, we are going to add a cup of OJ, a little Florida OJ. That there. And then all we need is our wine. Once again, special edition, Uncle Fred, Jose, and Melissa. Bottled at their own place. Oh, can we do this? I can bring it up here so you can see the nice wine going right in there. And the key with sangrias, though, is that when you do make them, you should try to plan ahead so that it can soak through with all the juices and everything. Whether it's a few hours or overnight or whatever. But you do want to have that time so everything can just soak in and the juices can seep in with it. Now, once again, we would soak this, and the other ingredient for this, and I'm not going to put it in right now because I'm not going to drink it, would be 2 cans of Sprite. So that gives you that little lightness, a little fizz and all that. So now going to Janet's recipe. Once again, We start with wine, and one of the things that if you're just making it at home, the key with sangria is use a less expensive wine. You don't use your best wines because we are doctoring it up a little bit and make it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the wine in here first. Good, bad, or whatever, but we'll throw the wine in there. Woo, there we go. And also with her recipe, we are looking at some lime in this one too. Squeezing some limes in there. And you'd probably use a little more. I'm just going to do the shortcut method here a little bit. I don't know how much you enjoy just watching me make sangria, but I do enjoy the music. And we got some lemon in this. More lemon. My theory is more of the juice, the better. I'm going to throw some oranges in there. And when they were talking about making sangria, that's a big thing I was reading. You just use what you have. You may not have all these things, but if you have a few different kinds of fruits, go ahead and put them in there. I mean, this one here Janet has. We also have pineapple in it. So I got some crushed pineapple going in there with the juice. And a little bit, just an extra splash. And then we talked about there being the spirits, that means the liquor that you can add. Now this once again is personal preference. I've seen recipes with gin, brandy, tequila, there's fireball, so whatever you want. So with this one, Janet says 2 shots of gin. 1, 2, finish the bottle. That's all good. Make it a little extra. Once again, stirring up. And we have some fresh raspberries in the area, so I'm going to throw some raspberries in this. It could be raspberries, it could be strawberries. And once again, this is supposed to marinate and soak overnight. And then we can hear my helicopter, I guess, going over. With her recipe, she uses ginger ale. Jose uses Sprite. Some people use seltzer water, whatever. So whatever you want to use along the way, which is fine, or club soda. So, there we have it. There's no right way, there's no wrong way to make sangria. There's only the right way of just drinking it and enjoying it. Once again, if you can, you try to make it ahead of time. If not, have your wine, have your Sprite or ginger ale cold and ready, and you could drink it right away. Like I said, I'm going to let these sit around for a little bit, and no, I'm not drinking both. I had just made the Jose's sangria, so he'll come back by and pick it up, so I guess I did the work for him. So real little review. Pick up your wine. Red is what the main sangria is made of, something inexpensive. Decide what you want for your kick, whether it's brandy, gin, tequila, fireball, or even vodka, whatever you have hanging around. Throw your fruit in it, whatever's seasonal, orange, lime, lemons, apples, cherries, berries. If you want tropical, mango and pineapple, let it soak. And then finally, whatever you decide for your fizz. Sprite, according to Jose, ginger ale, according to Janet. Some people like the seltzer or club soda. Any of that is good. But the key is, you've got something here for the whole gang to drink, for yourself. Fill up the glass, turn on the music, kick back and relax, and enjoy your day wherever you may be. So glad to have you all join me on this little trip to Spain and around the world. And real quick, I just want to say thanks for tuning in.